What's up, everybody, and welcome to my AEW Rampage review, a live edition of AEW Rampage this week. This one's actually live, so, couple things going on in this show, a couple changes here and there, too, but, still a lot going on in this show, I should say, for the entirety of this hour. Of course, you know, Jericho, Taz, and who else on commentary? Ricky Starks, and I think Excalibur on commentary. I think I already just said that 2 times already. But, yeah, they're all on commentary. And we do kick it off with Jon Moxley's big return match. Jon Moxley hasn't wrestled in about 2 months now. After, you know, his stint in rehab recently. But with him being out, he went against Ethan Page. You know, I guess I've seen a lot of people notice this. And I'm sure, well, we've all noticed this, that you know, Moxley looked a little bit more thinner out there, a little bit more skinnier, if I noticed, because before, you know, when the last time Moxley was here, he was a little bit more buffer, I should say. Now, some would say it had to do with the alcohol, so it made him look a little bit pudgy, probably holding excessive alcohol weight on him and stuff, and I guess being in rehab. Basically, you know, shedded some muscle. Moxley, some say he looks younger. Some say he looks like when he first entered the WWE as, you know, Dean Ambrose and The Shield and whatnot. I kind of had that feeling because, you know, before, like, especially the past few years, Mox has looked, you know, a little bit more buff. Not jacked to the gills, but, you know, like some more muscle and whatnot. You could see him, but a little bit more like burly in a way. But he does look a little bit smaller, but he looks like he's in better shape, though. Hey, I will say this about Jon Moxley, especially right now. Because I did kind of find it odd at first that GCW announced he was going to, his return to wrestling before AEW did. I thought that was strange. And then again, like, so let me get this straight. Mox is going to wrestle on their show first before he wrestles on the show that's actually paying him more money and everything. Which, you know, now we got that tonight. But I thought it was kind of strange. But then again, apparently he's still, the GCW champion. And I guess they're trying to, I think this is being like the Hammerstein Ballroom. I think that's, GCW's biggest, you know, building up to date, if I'm not mistaken. And come on, how many times Ring of Honor done that? But, you know, they have a cult following, I will say that. I don't know much about it, but they do have a following, though. But I just kind of found it strange that, dude, wouldn't you be going for the company that made your name bigger than GCW? I mean, I get you want to help the little company out, but I thought it was kind of strange at first when they announced his return there before AEW did. But him and Moxley and Page had a pretty good match, though. Like I said, this was a return for Moxley. So, not a quick match, but, you know, a good, you know, back and forth and whatnot, which Moxley ended up getting the Bulldog choke for the win. And then when Page got up, he ended up hitting him with a Death Rider after that, before walking away. But as he walked on, Bryan Danielson was right there waiting on him, and him and Moxley had a bit of a stare down. So, very interesting to have them do that right now. This probably will end up in, I guess, going to be a feud next, especially for Danielson, because I was wondering where Danielson was going to be going next after the world title and whatnot, since he couldn't get that win. And I'm sure Moxley's going back for the world title himself now, so we'll see what happens with that, but very interesting to have Moxley and Danielson in a match. Next, now, this was supposed to be a tag team match. It was actually supposed to be Roppongi Vice versus Chaos. Well, not Chaos, but the Young Bucks. But unfortunately, Rocky Romero today has tested positive for COVID. Especially Rocky just got back from Japan recently, you know, after Wrestle Kingdom earlier this month. But very unfortunate for him to get COVID and whatnot. So it ended up being Nick Jackson versus Trent Beretta. Surprised this match really got this much time out there. It really did get a lot of time. It wasn't bad or anything, but I think they probably would have did more if it was the tag match itself. That would have happened to begin with. Trent Beretta ended up getting the win, though. After what he got like a 450 or whatnot after Nick Jackson did. And, you know, he got away with a super kick, and he ended up hitting the Dude Buster. The Dude Buster for the win. So, Trent Beretta, good win for him. I'm sure they'll revisit that tag match sooner or later and stuff. But some will like this match, some will not. Spotty at the same time, too. So, there you go. Hook went against Serpentico, which he basically killed this man and judo threw him everywhere. And stuff, because Serpentico tried to do his whole shoot streamer thing, but Hook judoed his ass everywhere before he hit him with the, I want to say the Taz mission, but the red rum or something for the win, or the cock de gopne. You already know how it goes. Next, you know, QT Marshall. I didn't know this before, but I guess he came out there talking with a Boston accent. Hey, get this guy out of here. I'm not trying to do a New Yorkian accent, but a Boston accent right here. I didn't notice that until I went back and looked at it. And he starts talking about Hook until Hook just flips him also and stuff. So I'm sure it'll probably be a match with them next, I'm sure of. But as we got to the main event, you know, they do the whole split screen thing. The TBS title being defended on TNT. That's interesting. But Jade Cargil went against Anna Jay. This wasn't a bad match. Obviously, you know, both women are still very green. I would say Jade is more green. But this was good. It didn't suck, I will say this. But they did have a pretty good match out there and stuff. Like I said, both are very green, especially Jade. But this wasn't that bad, and I see they're building off on Jade's winning streak. I guess she's 25-0 right now, and you know, because I know they had her family out there. They, you know, they had her daughter and whatnot watching on. So, yeah, I believe she's 25-0 now in this whole, well, just her in AEW itself. So her being a TBS champion, and whatnot. Basically, they are building a lot of wins. I'm not saying she's Goldberg or something they're going to build her into, but obviously they're going to be running with this whole streak thing right now. But yeah, Jade won, hit the Jade in on Anna Jay and won the match. But I thought it was a good match. Like I said, it wasn't the worst. Like I said, both women ain't the best, but they matched, put on a pretty good match. Like I said, this is an hour Rampage, so it's not much to say from here, especially with this being live this week. I'm surprised it's live back in the same building again, but like I said, a couple changes here and there, but it wasn't a bad hour for the show and whatnot. So I thought it was okay. Pretty good episode for Rampage. Like I said, Jon Moxley's in ring return. You know, Jade defending the title. Hook's Hook. And I know it's supposed to be Chaos and Roppongi Vice, but just ended up being Trent and Nick Jackson out there. So yeah. So all I really got to say about Rampage, not much from this other than hour went right by. Hour went right by. So I'm out of here. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. See you guys then. Peace.